I hope your bodies feel great. I hope after yoga you feel greater mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Would you like to join me in our yoga spaces? Today we're going to begin on our backs. So as you make your way on back, would you please join me very slowly? We don't have any rush to the practice. We're just going to slowly come on down. I like to try to get down to the yoga mat in the beginning with no hands. So you might, if you've been seated a lot during the day, you might need to kind of move around a little bit, take a little shrug or a stroll around your yoga space. Whenever you feel ready, let's try to come down as gently as we can. Find a seated position to begin and scooch a little side to side or remove the fleshy part of your backside from under your sits bones. And then to find our way down, to release all the way to our spine, we'll hug our thighs. Tuck chins to chest. Find a really rounded shape in your back and just kind of hang out here for a second. Hold on tight to your thighs and lean back. Take a couple of movements a little side to side. We might not feel this in our low back just yet. This is more mid and upper back. We'll get there in a moment. As you tuck your chin to your chest, start to roll all the way down to the mat. You can lift your feet and take them with you. That's what I like to do. And as you hopefully gently arrive lying on your back, we'll switch our handhold to our shins and take a nice hug in on the low back. Tuck your chin towards your chest and let's get heavy in our arms to begin a little rock side to side. We'll keep our eyes skywards for the time being. Now, if you find some tension in your low back that you can pinpoint, you might, like for example, I have this in my low back here. I'm gonna just kind of rock over onto that spot and just sit there for a second. And sometimes I'll go a little up and down. Really nice if you're on a hard floor. Sometimes the carpeting can mask the sensation we're looking for. But if your floor is really hard, you might get an awesome release here. And after you've pinpointed any trouble spots, take another stroll side to side, starting a circle of your knees up towards your chest and around the corners. I like to try to get all the way as far as my arms can reach out so you get down by your tailbone area. Switch that direction. We're just trying to energize our spine a little bit before we begin today. And when that feels pretty good, we'll take the knees back in towards our chest. Taking eyes to the left side, let your right leg, either foot fall flat or leg lay long. Stretch your left arm out to the side and use your right hand to gently pull into a spinal twist. The left knee will travel on over to the right side. We're just beginning, so be really gentle with your bodies. Take a tiny twist to begin. See if you can let your eyes slip closed for a moment and take a big breath in. Being grateful for the fact that we awoke today. We have this amazing opportunity to move our beautiful, capable bodies. Eyes back to the center. Rock knee to center. Give it another big squeeze. And then switch. Hug your right knee in. Plant your left foot or let the leg slide long. And as you look off to your right, we'll extend right fingers, using our left hands to guide the right knee gently over your body. One of my favorite places to be because you can really notice your breath in a twist. Your inhale might rise you out a bit as your exhale drops you down a bit deeper. One more noticeable breath, being grateful for this journey we're on together, exploring our bodies, using our breaths. Eyes back to your ceiling, roll to center, and give that knee a big squeeze. Just hug on your body, love yourself. Let's take both knees back in towards the center and hug your hamstrings again, yogis. Let's push our legs as straight as they want to go. If you're tight in the backs of the legs, keep them bent at all times. Rebend them and straighten them just a few times, extending and releasing through the hamstring. Taking legs back up long, let's hug both hands on the back of your left leg. I usually reach one higher and one lower. We'll send the right toes to the floor and give a really nice pull on this leg towards your nose. If this feels easy, you can slide that right leg back out long. Climbing hands a little higher towards your ankle, getting heavy in the arms for a lovely awakening through the back of your left leg. Let's try one more breath cycle here. Just check in with your facial features. Sometimes we start to grimace if we've been on a screen all day or we've had some frustrating experiences. We might have some frowning lines on our face. Let's give ourselves permission to let those go. We're in our happy space together now. Rebend your left knee, hug right knee in. Let's set that left foot flat and stretch your right leg skywards. Holding on with both hands to the back of your right leg, see if you'd like to lengthen through the left. Ooh, that feels good. We get the hamstring on the right leg, but when you stretch your left leg long, you might feel a little front hip action. And once your leg gets a little used to what's happening, we'll try to climb a bit higher with the hands, using our very heavy arms to deepen this stretch. If you feel safe doing so, drop in behind closed eyelids, shutting the world out, all the distractions for a moment, and come into this infinitely vast, still space behind your eyes. Rebending your right knee. Let's hug both knees back to chest and lift our left arms overhead. We're going to take a slow turn to the left side, fetal position. Right hand presses down into your yoga mat to boost you up towards a tabletop. And for practice today, we'll work on lengthening our fingers, widening our hands, and pressing down in our middle knuckles. Aligning hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's tuck our toes to begin. Shift your hips back towards your heels and then forward. Allow your shoulders to come in front of your wrists as long as that's comfortable. It's challenging, but as long as it doesn't hurt. Send your hips back, roll back forward, and let's connect with breath here. We'll take an inhale one direction, exhale the other. One more round just like this. As you get back again, please pause. Walk your hands closer to your knees and lift your knees up off the ground. Allow your thighs to smush onto your calves, ironing out the tension in your lower legs. I like to shift my hips a little side to side so you can get all the nooks and crannies in your calf muscles released. Come back to that tabletop, yogis. Knees under hips, hands slide forward. Untuck your toes this time. And swivel your right fingers to the right side. Let's go a little side to side now, shifting your body weight to the left and the right. While you're moving, could you try to engage your core? Think about your stomach. Your navel wants to kiss your spine, so we'll go right up and in. A little kiss there. Swiveling your right fingers in towards the left hand. Can you continue this side to side sweeping? Now, if your heel of hand rises off your yoga mat, you've gone a bit too far to the left. We're going to try to keep our hand really flat. Coming back through the center, align chest over your left thumb and bring those right fingers back forward. Flip the back of your right hand down now. Soft on the pressure. Give your fingers a little jazzy wiggle. Okay, that wrist might feel a little cooked. So as you put it back down, we'll close our knees. Tops of feet are still flat and we'll sit in thunderbolt pose. Hips on heels, rise on up. We're just gonna baby bird flat this right hand, just let it go. And then one of my favorite stretches is to clasp hands, roll a figure eight, just rolling gently through that right wrist. Okay, feel better? Let's come back to table. Left hand moves out to the left side, starting that swivel, or I guess it's not a swivel, that's sway. That was the word I was looking for. That sway to the right and the left. Palm very flat. If it lifts, you just went a little too far. Slow down a bit so you can swivel left fingers inwards now. Keep that swivel going. And as you move, especially to the right, we're going to be really careful that the hand stays flat so we can deeply stretch into the wrist here. Sliding to a stop over your right thumb. Right fingers are forward, as are your left. We're flipping the left back of hand flat down. Palm faces the sky. And we're going to go for those jazz fingers. Give them a little wiggle to liberate the wrist. Sit back in your thunderbolt pose. Knees, inner ankles, and big toes connect. And for this wrist release, we'll try pressing the backs of our hands together. Thumbs face your heart. Literally tick-tock. Can you see that? Kind of dangling down through the fingers and tick-tock. But we're going to apply a little pressure to the backs of your hands. You feel that stretch on the top of your wrist. Awesome job, my friends. Once you feel shaken loose, let's plant the fingertips behind us. I'm going to show you from the side. We can have thumbs out, fingers back tented, palms flat, or you're welcome to use your fists, knuckles down. That is super strong that way. So you decide on a great placement. Send your collarbones wide as you puff your chest forward. Eyes gently gazing at the wall here. Option to stay or try to rise the hips with me. We're going to squeeze our backsides, lift up through the hips, and as we lift our hips, we get a wonderful stretch through our thighs. Try to fill up with breath all the way down towards your kneecaps. Have a seat back on your heels, sit tall, and just pause for a moment. If your wrists are still tender, do that little baby bird flap out with both wrists. Let's take a tiny twist. Inhale, arms rise. Send the arms down to the left side body. I use a thigh and then the floor personally. Sit real tall. Exhale, eyes over your left shoulder. One more round of breath, taller as you breathe through the crown of your head. Eyes might like to swivel a bit more during your exhalation. Through the center, we rise through the arms. Inhale, big. Long exhale as the arms fall right. Anywhere they feel helpful. A little self-assist to swivel you to the right side. And we're energizing the spine. We're twisting tension away from our low backs, but very sneakily, we're stretching in the front of our ankles as well. Your toes might feel tingly. That's normal. Last breath here. So to get rid of those tingles, as you come forward, we're back to table. Two ways to get rid of that. Tuck your toes under, the least intense way. Just pause. Or you can keep your feet flat and give yourself a round of applause. I just love that because it's fun, it's silly. It's just nice. When your feet are feeling the blood flow again, they don't feel tingles, we'll try a downward facing dog. Walk your hands forward, wide fingers, flat knuckles, especially your thumbs. Toes are tucked under for sure. We'll scoot our hips to the sky and push through your hands, yogis. Push away so your head slides back between your elbows. Chest is gliding towards your thighs. And you feel that opening sense along the back of your thighs. Now, if you have tension in your low back, it might feel great to bend your knees. And as you push, it's like the infinitely long spine stretch. Feels like you could scoot tailbone to the sky forever and ever. Start an alternating knee bend and straighten. Whenever you have a straight leg, consider pouring all of your weight down the back of that leg. Never mind where your heels are, whether they're really high off the earth or down low. We're moving with feeling here, doing what feels good for our bodies, not looking to attain any particular shape, moving to open and breathe. As you do this little knee bend, let's wiggle forward. So each time I straighten a leg, I step it forward, finding your way up to the top of your mat into a forward fold. Knees bend very generously again if you experience tightness in your back body. Rolling yourself to rise all the way to the sky. Now, for those of us who experience low back tension, it can feel great to just pause, kind of hanging like a zombie here. And continue your roll, slowly articulating your spine to standing when you're ready. Sweep your arms skywards. Welcome, everyone. Standing feels good after all that. Big V in the arms, shoulders shrug down. Your bottom of shoulder blades want to kiss your spine now. Step your feet a little wider, almost to the edges of your mat. Your toes could even be off the mat. Hands to heart center. Great time to make an intention for your practice. Mine really doesn't change. It's always to be present with my breath. Each breath, present with it. Sink down in your hips, your first yogi squat of today. It can be tiny, especially if you're tight in your hips. If you feel pretty good, you've been moving through the morning, find your way down. Take a big breath in, any depth of yogi squat. As you exhale, fingers fall, head falls, hips rise. We'll swivel our toes forward for these wide forward folds today. One more round like that. Palms meet under your nose, roll to rise. Stretching to the sky. Let your arms open into a big V and then come back to heart center, moving them in any way it feels good. Inhale. Exhale, sinking down to yogi squats. So we had toes forward. They like to swivel out for our yogi squat, so our knees stay in line with the middles of our feet. Then when we fold, we'll turn them forward to fold. Take a big releasing exhale through your forward fold. Step or slide back with your right leg, my friends. If you landed short, give it a little tick-tock through your heel to slide further away. Let's climb up the left thigh. Place your hands on the thigh and give yourself a whoo, big boost. That's helpful. Reach up with your right arm, back with the left arm. Take a big sweep of both arms to switch. Left high, right low. One more like that. Reach up and down. Stay here. Your right arm should be low. We'll reach back this time towards our right kneecap. It feels a back bend, yeah? Opens your chest. Take a big breath in. If the back bend bothers your low back, stay tall. Watch before you go. One of my favorite transitions. We're going to take a huge swim forward to twisted lunge. Did you catch that? We'll do it together. Right arm was back. Left arm down. Right arm down. Left arm up. Oh, the best. You could drop your right knee if it feels better to kneel a twisted lunge today. Let's try a big breath. Please modify anything that doesn't feel great to you. For example, if the arm high is troublesome, land it back on your knee. One more big breath in. Releasing inside, yogis, inside your left toes. Elevate right knee if you landed it and step forward. Take that big forward fold, wide-legged. Toes swivel out, our hips drop. Find that yogi squat. You could have a high yogi squat every time. Find what feels good, do more of it. Forward fold, toes forward. Roll yourself to standing. Longer, prouder, stronger already. Palm back to prayer. Sink to your yogi squat. Love that exhale. Inhale, float your sits bones skywards as you fold. Release your hands. Left leg slides or steps back. You're in that beautiful wide lunge. Hands push off your right thigh, elevate. Scoop everything to the sky. And let's start with our left hand reaching back, opening your arms in the opposite directions. Big sweep to switch. Try twice more. Big inhale one way. Exhale the other way. And next time you get down with your left hand, please stay. Option to stay long. Or as you reach towards your left knee, you could back bend up here. So remember how we do that cool transition, right? We're going to take 2 swimming forward strokes to get down. Left arm down, right arm up. Twisted lunge, you're welcome to kneel that twisted lunge. One more big breath, your eyes looking where it feels opening for your chest. On an exhale, let's land inside the right big toe. Did you guess it? Back to yogi squat. Lift your left knees, Step forward, sink to your version. Inhale in a slow, big, beautiful breath way. Exhale, fold. Inhale again. How slowly can you go? Not forcing it, just taking the time to rest, to slow down, to recover from a big morning. Last yogi squat, I promise. Hands to heart center. Sink. Maybe it's a new depth that you're sinking to. I'm going to try a big one up high here. When you exhale, it's time to fold. And as you step your right leg back this time, we'll find that lunge to begin. Then swivel your right foot flat, warrior two. So it's facing the long edge of your yoga mat. Arms will windmill all the way to the sky. And we find a soft, loose, long arm at shoulder height. Left knee is bending. Could you bend so that the knee sits on top of your ankle and then guide it out towards your baby toes? Beautiful job. Right arm wraps around your low back. Left arm comes up overhead. We hold on to our ear and gently tuck left ear down towards the shoulder for a really nice neck stretch. Breathing into your neck. Sometimes that helps us forget that we have this little smoldering fire happening in our left thigh. Come on back forward with the eyes. Reach your arms back long and loose. Lean away, reverse warrior, but straighten slowly into your left knee. Let's reverse our triangles. Doesn't that feel better? So nice. Lengthening the whole left body. Breathe from your fingertips to your toenails. Very nice, yogis. Warrior two, just one more breath. Come on, I believe in you. Clasping hands at heart center. You can hug them together, prayer, whatever feels good. We'll lean to the left, cut a long angle from your hip bone to your armpit. Just lean to the left for our extended side angle today. Through the center we go. Arms reach long, swivel to your left side, find that lunge again. Don't worry, not a big one, just a regular lunge. Frame your left foot and step back to dog. If that's challenging, slide back to table. Maybe even visiting a child's pose, and then a downward facing dog. Lift all the way up in your hips. Take a look forward and try to step your right foot directly in between your thumbs. That's a challenge without lifting first, isn't it? So we use a little bit of our core strength to roll that leg forward. Left heel falls flat, warrior two again. So we want to have it facing our long edge of mat. Windmill the arms all the way up, down, and around. They're loose, they're light, they're long. Bending that right knee. It should feel challenging. We want to toe the line of comfort and discomfort. When we meet challenge in our muscles, change happens. We grow stronger. We take the left arm around our low back, reach all the way up and overhead. As you cradle your left ear, let your right ear fall towards your shoulder. That for me is always a moment. Try to unclench through your right toes. Coming back through the center, light and long in the arms, clasp hands in some way at your heart center, and then reach your body to the right side. Now think about that long line from your right hip bone to your right armpit. It's not rounded, it's long, energized. One more big breath in. Through the center, arms long, lean back, but straighten your right leg. Another one of those moments. An open mouth exhalation is great. I like to think of that as dragon's breath because we're letting the fire release from the muscles we just worked so hard. Just a breath in your warrior two. Windmill around towards your right foot. And we're stepping back again, yogis. Once you find that frame, step back to downward facing dog. Pedal out as we did before with the alternating legs, bending and straightening. Or feel free to stay still. That serves you more today. Taking another big breath in. I like to pedal, and on the bent knee, I let my hips sag down. You'll get a great outer hip and glute stretch there. All right, we're gonna add on, yogis. Let's roll forward into a very soft, floaty plank. Drop knees down, diagonally from shoulders if you need it. We're finding a bend to our elbows to descend all the way to our yoga mats. Now, if you have a tight space, this will be a challenge, but we're gonna try to reach our arms overhead. So if you need to spin on a diagonal, go for it. We're gonna go as long as we can between our fingertips and our toes. And as you reach fingers long, we'll swivel thumbs to the sky. Press toes away as long as you can. Let's lift our right pinky finger. Keep your chin tucked, eyes right underneath your nose. Lift your left toes. Push, push. Envision me in your space, pulling your fingers and then pulling your toes gently, lengthening your body. Drop back down. One more long hold like that. Left pinky rises, right toes rise. We're not concerned with our height. We are emphasizing our length. Breathe through your body, longer and stronger. Drop down, take a rest. I like to shake my hips side to side here. We're gonna go 8 rounds of that faster. Inhale and exhale. Let's inhale to elevate right pinky, left toes. Exhale, release. Your speed, yogis. Inhale, exhale. Remembering as we move through here that our eyes are down, so the backs of our necks are long. We only have 3 more. We got this. 3. Time flies when you're having fun. When you get back down flat, slide your thumbs by your middle ribs and press yourself back to child's pose for a beautiful rest. You choose knees wide or narrow, whatever works for your body today. Now we have another great option, especially if we're looking to stretch our low backs. We can wrap our hands around the outer edges of our feet, tuck the tops of our heads onto the mat. So that's not our forehead, yogis, that's the very tip top of our heads. And then roll our body like an angry cat. And it's called hare pose. Holding on to the outer feet here will help us spread wide open in the back. Coming on back to child's pose, if you practiced hare, and stretch your arms forward, please. Let's go one more round of back body, strengthening, and then we'll stretch again. Roll back to your plank or your modified plank, not tabletop, modified plank. If your back bothers you, you're welcome to descend from table. Bending elbows as slowly as you can to meet the earth. And re-extending to your longest, strongest self. Okay, we are going this time with palms facing the ground. Spread them open like a big V. Chin is tucked, so you feel very long in the back of your neck. Lift both palms at the same time and draw elbows back to a cactus or a goalpost. Feel the bottom of your shoulder blades kissing into your spine. Press all the way forward, open them from one another. Pull back. Now let's connect it with breath, yogis. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, squeeze back. One more like that. Big breath in and a big breath out. Reaching to make a pillow, hands stack underneath your head. We're letting the forehead rest on the mat. We're not using our upper body for this round. Let's lift our toes, knees, and thighs. And we're gonna swim kick here. So envision that you're trying to move through water as quickly as possible. Alternating legs go up, down, but they're straight. Not bending in the toes, the ankles, or the knees. You got it, my friends? Are you pedaling? Well, I guess we should say, are you swimming? Are you breathing? That's the hard part. 2 more seconds. Okay, let it go. We're almost done strengthening our back, but our option, yogis, to be the strongest we can be is to put those two together. Goalpost arms, chin is tucked. Elevate your palms. Reach all the way forward, elevate your toes, knees, and thighs. How's your coordination? We're about to find out. Start swimming in the legs. And while you keep that going, squeeze back in the shoulder blades. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, squeeze back. We're just gonna go 2 more rounds. You can do this. Breathe in. Maybe open your yogi toes a little wider. Breathe out. Send energy to your back body as you inhale. Let go of something that's preventing you from being your best self as you exhale. Release hands by your middle wrists, toes drop. Press back, child's pose. Ooh, that was a big one. As you reach your arms forward, we're gonna stay extended this time. Hands move off to the right side. Hips slide left. And you may enjoy resting left hand on the top of your right for a little bigger stretch open. When we work really hard like that, my friends, I would love for us to fully recover. So there is absolutely no rush to move on to balance from here. Maybe we try one more breath. If you need more, please stay. Elevating heads when you're ready to move, sliding hands to your left, hips glide to the right. Arms may like to cover one another, right hand on top. And then I widen my elbows and I try to bow my head down between the elbows. Soften your face. Relax your jaw. Take another deep breath. Stay longer if that would make you happy. Otherwise, elevate your eyes, slide forward, coming to your tabletop. Tuck your toes under, shift back to that crouch we began class with. And when you're feeling ready, oh, this is nice, isn't it? I love that squeeze on the calves. But when you're ready, you'll forward fold. Hang out, literally yogis, hang out in your upper body. Tuck your chin to your chest, let your hair hang loose, let your arms feel like little limp noodles. And on an inhale, roll yourself to rise. Shoulders roll up and back a few times. Could you try to open your mind to the possibility of having fun as you balance? We're not taking anything we're doing here too seriously. Okay, so if you topple over, you come back when you're ready. Let's move palms up to shoulder height. Lift up through your left heel. You might like to move around a little bit there for a little ankle love. Oh, I got a little snap in mine. Extend your left toes forward or elevate them, whatever feels good today. Sweep hands back, chest will stay lifted. Keep eyes to me, please. Sweep leg behind you. So we're not folding here. We're just lifting up. Beautiful stretch back. Nice. Come back forward, big inhale. Arms open to the sides. Leg does as well. Arms open overhead, lean to your right. Last bit for this side. Star pose, big breath in. Beautiful. Come back to the center, leg lifts. Drop down slowly with control and strength. Look at you. Sweep up through your right heel as arms move back to shoulder height, palms up. Do you remember why we do that? Maybe check in with your shoulders. Turn your thumbs in. See how they turn in? Yeah. Thumbs out widens our collarbones and shoulders. Good work. You can sweep the right leg forward or up. Take a breath in. Gather up your strength and balance, your confidence. Chest proud, sweep back. Nice work. Coming back forward. I got stuck on the mat there. Open wider. Right leg to the side. Stay tall. Big breath in. Arms at a V. Lean to your left. Witness the length you're creating in your body. Feel the width you're spreading. Nice. Come to the center. Toes rise. One more big lift. Release on an exhale. Everything down. Shake your body. Shake your amazingly balanced, strong body. Shake out so you feel fresh in mind and body. Okay. Gently here. Moving up through the left knee. Give it a squeeze. I like to clasp my fingers together, so I've got a really strong squeeze. It's tough standing on one leg. Be proud of yourself so far. Open your right arm. Send the left knee out just a little. Check in with how your hips are feeling. Work through any wiggles that are arising. Do that a few times, a little half French door here, opening and closing. And maybe we use our left hand, or maybe we don't. We're sending our leg into tree, wherever it wants to land, anywhere along the right leg. Feedback from the right leg where the foot landed, squeeze back in. Left forearm crosses on top of the left, right at your heart center. Take a moment to find your balance. Left arm opens to the left side. Eyes follow, and this is the end of the challenge. Eyes moving in balance are incredibly challenging, so be kind to yourself. No judgments, no criticisms. Eyes back forward. That's so challenging, isn't it? Left forearm back on top. Lift your left knee, soften down. Let everything go, shake out. And if you fall over, dust yourself off and try again, yogis, no worries. So you know with that grounded leg what I like to do. For me personally, I love to tuck the toes under and stretch the front of the ankle after I've shaken it free. Do what feels good to rejuvenate yourself because we got another round. You ready? Okay, let's hug the right knee in. Give it a nice squeeze. We're trying to let the shoulders be low, but very strong and huggy with the hands and our elbows. Nice to dance around in the ankle here and there too. Tiny bit of balance coming in. Let's open the left arm. And that half swinging door here. It's Friday, so perhaps you're making your visual a saloon door. You're looking for 5 o'clock somewhere. Once you feel okay, let's send it out with or without the hand. We're gonna hook our tree pose. Don't worry about what happened on the other side. Just start here fresh. After you've connected, a little feedback from the left leg pulling into the foot. And then we take our forearms right on top at chest height. Try to drop shoulders and stay calm and centered here. Right arm reaches to the side wall. Eyes follow those fingertips. Take a peek in that direction. Be prepared with gentleness if you stumble. Eyes moving back forward when you're ready. Take time, especially if you fell out. If you want to try it again a time or two, go ahead, yogis. Right arm lands on top. Great job. Lift your right knee. Shake it out. Let it go. Ooh, I can't get out of those balances fast enough. Once you've shaken free, do whatever you need. I like to tuck those toes. Okay, we're all better now. We're all better. We're done standing for the moment. Sweep your arms to the sky. Let them float back down. Tuck your chin and allow your whole body to take a beautiful roll down to your yoga space. Let your fingers find the floor, bend any knee, and have a seat on down with both legs straight. We're going for staff pose. Legs straight. We'll do that little wiggle from cheek to cheek to move the flesh out from under sits bones. If the wiggle doesn't help, you can super gently remove it with your hands. And then let's sit really tall, yogis. Capital L, flex feet towards your hip bones. Sit up to the tallest you can be. As you exhale, keep your spine long, folding over your knees. Reach with energy as far as you can. And then soften down everything in the upper half, but keep your legs engaged. So we'll let our belly become soft as we fold, our chins to tuck, the backs of our necks to hang. If possible, our elbows are bending here. Our shoulders are softening down from earlobes. But our legs are still switched on, all 5 toes on each foot, pulling back towards your ears. One more big breath in. We'll come back, I promise. On an exhale, hands about shoulder width to get you a boost on up to seated. Hug your right knee to your chest. You can keep it right here or cross it over. We're going for a seated twist. I'm gonna cross mine over the left thigh. And then you deserve a huge hug for coming to practice today. You hugged your body all around the whole time you were practicing, giving it some TLC, but now you get to actually hug yourself. Okay, let's lessen up the intensity of that hug. Push your right hand down, sit tall. Swivel eyes to the right, and you could keep the hugging left arm or take it across your thigh. If it feels awkward for it to be long, take yourself hand to right shoulder. Lengthening from crown of head on each inhale. Swiveling eyes and possibly chest and shoulders during your exhales a bit more deeply to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Through the center we go. My friends, we're going to take the right foot across the left thigh if you haven't yet joined me. Left hand is tucking the top of that foot, quote unquote, flat as you can get it. I have like my outer two toes flat. So this, once you have your knees pretty stacked, is called half cow face. We're folding here, or you can make it a bit bigger by leaning to your left and folding your left leg in for full cow face. Tops of feet are aiming to be flat. Right cheek, sits bone must be anchored. So if it's lifted and you can't get it anchored, slide that left leg back out for the half version. Takes a little adjusting sometimes to get there. Sometimes we have to give a little push to our knees or wiggle our butts. Once you feel good, we're moving through the right outer thigh. That's the stretch we're aiming to find. We'll fold our bodies down again. Now, if you lift up in your back body, release back down. Sits bones anchored, tailbone stretching long. I usually go for one breath when I fold, really energized in the upper body, and then give yourself to your stretch from there on out. I like to think of melting down like butter on an English muffin, like into all your nooks and crannies. So when we melt like this, our hope is that we use the weight from our heavy, relaxed torsos to intensify the sensations in the lower body. In this case, from the outer right knee to the outer right glute. This is a really nice stretch. Now, if you felt like your right foot couldn't connect to the ground, you can always use props to support you, a pillow or a blanket to build up the floor anytime you need it. If you'd like to stay longer, please do, but otherwise we're gonna rise. Oh man, that felt good. If you're really tangled up like a pretzel, you might need to lean again to the left to let your legs untangle themselves. And we're gonna just shake them out. Shake them like you just don't care. I like to jiggle the knees, flex and point through the feet, whatever feels good. Okay, let's cross that right ankle on top of the left. Both knees are micro bent, and we're taking one more forward fold just for a breath here. Sit up on your next inhalation. Use your hands for support. Lean them back behind you. After all that folding, let your chest open. If it feels better, you can uncross your ankles. Trying to boost upward, staying connected into your mat through the backside, but boosting your torso longer, giving it space to open back up. All right, let's try the same thing on the other side. As you find your way back to seated, take a big hug on your left knee. We could keep it right here, or you can cross over right away. Both hands will try to hug that knee in towards your chest. Sit tall and hug it even tighter. Do you feel that stretch starting to blossom through your outer thigh? Yeah. Okay, we're twisting. Left hand boosts us tall in an inhale. Eyes look to the left. We can move that right arm over the left thigh. Does that feel nice? it feels awkward, take a little hand to heart or hand to left shoulder. 2 more breaths, finding your crown of head rising on an inhale. Your heart space moving more left on an exhale. Inhale. Long exhale. Slide back forward. If your foot isn't yet crossed over the thigh, please do. And when you get there, we're going to use our right hand to just try to tuck the top of our foot down, guiding our knees to a stack. Option to lean right and slide the right leg to bend as well. If you get there and your left cheek will not sit down, 2 options. You can put a support under there, or we can re-lengthen out the right leg. The half version is a little less intense. All good? Might feel like your legs are kind of slipping and sliding. It takes a second to get to the right spot. Let's do the thing, yogis. Send your body long. Inhale energy through the front body. Keep that energy as you crawl out through the exhalation. Feel the weight of your body helping that left outer thigh. Yeah. Some folks will need a little pillow under knees or in between knees as well. If you ever experience discomfort, take the time to make yourself cozy. And then we are butter on an English muffin. We are sinking and melting into our nooks and our crannies. Working through, hopefully maybe even enjoying 3 full breaths here. You're always welcome to linger, but if it feels right, we're going to use our hands underneath our shoulders to boost us back to seated. If you're stuck, use your hands to help your legs untangle. I like to just lean to your right and then let the legs escape. Give them a little shake around, maybe a roll. Cross your left ankle over your right, soften your knees. Sit really tall. 1 breath as we descend into our forward fold. We're really going to watch that right knee because that one wants to hyperextend, so we'll keep it gently bent. Hands are helpful under shoulders to sit us up and lean yourself back. Give your front body so much space to release. You can uncross your ankles if you'd like. I like to think about not just lifting, yogis, but moving forward in space too. You're growing bigger, wider, more open and spacious each breath here. When your shoulder blades squeeze together, there's a little pillow. If you'd like to drop your head back, that'll greet you. Oh. 1 more big breath in. Long, slow exhale. If your head fell back, we'll retuck our chins to our chests and then sit ourselves up tall. Uncross legs if they're not yet. Bring your knees in towards your chest. And for those of you that have to head out of class early, you'll take this little hug to an angry cat, up to a cow, just moving a little through your spine. And then eventually, when that feels pretty good, you'll roll your knees to one side, round into table, forward fold, and hopefully float out of class. It's just turned 1:55. But if you could stay with me, we are going to have hands back, thumbs out, fingers facing away. Straighten our right leg and cross left ankle over the right thigh. Slide that right knee back to bend. You might feel good where you are, but if you want more, you're going to send the hips forward towards your right heel. And you have to follow it up with your hands so you still feel tall, moving out of our low backs. Option to stay in your seated figure 4 still, or rock and roll just a little bit. Little bit goes a long way in yoga, doesn't it? I wish I could apply that to the mindful eating I'm always working on. Because when it comes to sweets, it never feels like a little bit goes a long way. You need a lot, a lot or nothing. When you've had enough of that stretch, we'll scoot the hips back. Straighten the right leg. Give yourself time to uncross and just move around through the legs. So since your wrists have worked hard, I like to bring the backs of them down before we switch sides. If it's hard to reach the yoga mat, push them on your thighs. Nice and soft there. All right, moving the other way. Remember, thumbs out, fingers back wide. Shoulders, yes, it's a little shoulder opener. And we're gonna cross right ankle over left thigh, making sure the bone is across the thigh so it doesn't feel pinchy or pokey. Bend your left knee and stay, uplifting chest or scoot forward. If you scoot forward for more stretch, bring your hands with you so your low back feels super long, very energized up under your collarbones here. Might like a little rock, a little roll. I'm not a rock and roll fan musically, unless it's John Bon Jovi because I'm from New Jersey, or Bruce Springsteen. But I love to rock and roll in yoga. Feels so nice to move our bodies in a gentle, loving way, doesn't it? Really, really nice. So if that feels okay for you, slide the hips back. Let the left leg straighten. Uncross your leg. Let your legs do a little dance to feel free again. And then last time for the wrists today, we'll bring the backs of our hands down. You can wiggle your fingers too. And another really cool thing, in this case, I would land on your thighs if you want to try a little extra something with me. Turn your fingers in and then make a soft fist. Rest the back of your hands on your thighs. Roll your fists up towards your chin, like you're pulling your knuckles up. Big stretch, yeah? On the top of your wrist. Love that one. So this is something you can do during your workday. If you do a lot of typing or mousing and your wrists get very stuck in position, rest them on your thighs, tiny soft fist, roll them to the sky. You know, we have those figure eights and those TikToks we did earlier too. All right, they might feel a little tender. When they're ready to bear weight again, we'll do the same as our friends. Lift our knees to the sky. Take a gentle rock side to side to swish out in your hips. And then when you feel one side is pretty good, we'll send our legs on over there and pause. Wrap yourself around the corner. Adjust into tabletop again, widening fingers, looking for those flat thumb knuckles especially. Trying to work out of or avoid our tech thumb from lots of texting on our mobile devices. Shift back into your crouch once again. Hands move back to knees. Knees rise. Little smush on the calves. Then we'll lift our hips into a forward fold, taking a final hang of our whole head, yogis. As you get extra heavy in your upper body, shake no gently through your head. Nod yes slowly through your head. Let's say no more to things that don't serve us. Saving our yeses for the really special things that light us up. Bringing our heads back to still. Articulating our spine to stand. Draw your navel in. Roll one vertebra at a time. See if you can feel your powerful, strong, amazing spine elevating you, holding you up. Shoulders roll back and down. Sweep arms up and overhead in a big dramatic circle, collecting all the strength, flexibility, balance, coordination, and your connection. Draw it down into your heart center, connection between mind, body, breath, spirit. Such a beautiful thing. Tuck your chin down in a bow of gratitude to your amazing self. I bow deeply to you, yogis, in admiration for the dedication to your practice and in honor, in gratitude for allowing me to lead you. Namaste. Have a beautiful Friday and an even better weekend.